This is Suburban On Air and Cohen in the City. Here is Mike Cohen.
God on high, hear my prayer in my need. You have always been there.
Well, it's great to have Nick Cartel with me, aka Jean Valjean from Les Misérables, which is coming to Montreal July 30th to August 4th at the Place des Arts. Nick, as we're recording this interview, you're on a rare break from this massive tour. You're in New York City. Have you
Yes,
been to Montreal before, Nick?
I have, and I've actually brought the last time that Les Mis came to Montreal, I brought the show as Jean Valjean. So it feels so
Hey.
great to be able to bring it back. I remember that the audiences there were absolutely incredible, and so I cannot wait to get back there.
Well, then I owe you an apology because I was at that show and I saw you, but it's been a long time,
It has been a long
Yeah,
time. There has been a whole pandemic in the middle of that.
absolutely. So you have performed in well over 1,200 performances.
Yeah.
What does that character, Jean Valjean, prisoner 24601, mean to you?
Oh my goodness. It means that there is a lot of heart. There's a lot of lessons, and there are still things after over 1,200 shows that I still learn from this character every single night. The way that Victor Hugo wrote so deeply about what this man goes through on a daily basis and the way that he is described, and then to bring those elements into this epic musical, along with such a dedicated company that makes my job, even though it is a difficult job, it makes my job easier because they are always locked in with me. So I continue to find new things on that stage every single night.
Before you joined the company, how many times had you seen the stage production and the movie?
Oh my goodness. Let's see. I'd probably seen the stage production probably about 7 or 8 times, maybe 9 times over the course of, growing up. I remember the first time that I saw the show was a tour back in 1996, 97 that came through my hometown in Arizona. And so I remember seeing the turntable production. I remember watching the 10th anniversary concert over and over again. I think I wore out that VHS tape, and then also just watching, the 25th anniversary, I saw the movie. So, to be able to now be part of the ranks of such an endearing legacy is a life-changing experience.
What did you like best about the storyline when you saw it before you became and what do you like best about it now that you're in the role?
I think I remember the first time that I saw it, and this is something that I talk about with, the fans that we have for this show because there is such a love for this production. The first time that I remember watching it, was I became obsessed with the students. I became obsessed with Marius and Enjolras and Eponine and Cosette and wanting to play Marius and Enjolras. That's who I connected with because I was a student at the time. But now, as I've gotten older, I obviously connect with Valjean and with Fantine, and now I am a parent myself. And so to be able to really know what that feels like to have your heart outside your body by having a child, to be able to bring those elements now into my performance. And we meet fans at the stage door every single night that a lot of them are bringing their children now to see the show. And the first time that they saw the show, just like me, they were connecting to the students because they were younger. And now they're connecting to the more adult characters in the show. And their children are connecting with the students. So it really bridges the generational gap. And it is one, I think, the reasons why this show is so endearing to so many people.
And one of the things about a show like this is that, I mean, if I had the opportunity, I would see all 7 shows because you never get tired of it. You could see it over and over and over again.
You can see it over and over and over because there is something different in every single show, right? That is the joy of live theater, is that it's never the same from one night to the next. Our audience changes, the way that we react on stage to certain moments changes. And I think that that's one of the endearing things about live theater, and the things that I love and why I love the career that I'm in, is that it does change, and that's what keeps it fresh.
So you originated the role in 2017, and then a few years later, COVID interrupted things. How did that all work? That must have been very weird for people. I've spoken to a lot of people in the industry, to just have to do a hard stop.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is that it truly was a hard stop. Now, I had actually left the barricade a couple months before everything really shut down. But you know, theater was one of the first industries to close, and it was one of the last industries to come back. So now to be able to welcome audiences back into the theater with a show like ours that really is about a true survival of the human spirit story, this story of redemption and love. And there is one thing that the world has gone through as a collective, and that is this pandemic. And so now when you get to see these characters on stage that are fighting to make their lives better, fighting to be heard, I think it echoes now more than ever before.
Well said. So how's the tour been going so far? And I ask a lot of people, because when they do come through the Place des Arts, I like to interview people from the different shows. This is not like performing on Broadway. You're on buses, on planes, trains, automobiles.
Yeah.
You're in different cities and hotels. That must be very grueling, especially for someone like you who's belting out all these songs night after night.
It is very taxing. But I think the good news is because I have been doing this role for as long as I have, I figured out exactly what I need in order to make sure that I can give 100% every night on that stage. So it's one of those things where I have my regimen of steaming and drinking lots of water and tea and eating right and going to the gym. But I also have my family on the road with me. So that also is a whole other element that I didn't have from 2017 to 2019 when I played the role. So now I have a 4-year-old that wakes me up every morning, that wants to play, and that adds a whole new level. But that is something that also just keeps me really grounded, because yes, I play Jean Valjean at night. I play this character that goes through pretty much an entire life on stage. But in the morning, I still wake up and I'm still dad, and I still have to make breakfast, and I still have to play. And it keeps me, like I said, it keeps me grounded, and I appreciate it.
That's great. Now, the audiences, how much do they energize you when you're performing the role?
We, and I feel like this goes for the entire company. We can feel that rush of energy. There's a pre-show announcement, and at the very end of it, it says, "And enjoy Les Miserables." And the audience erupts in applause. It really does feel like a rock concert every night for us, and we take that energy, because we are right behind that drop when that announcement is made. And we take that energy, and it really pushes our show forward. And so I think that sometimes, audiences, when they're sitting out there in the dark, they get lost in our story, which I appreciate, but they are truly a part of it. There are moments where I am speaking to them, and at the end of the show, we are talking to our audience, saying, will you join in our crusade? Who will be strong and stand with me? And they are a part of this journey, because at the end of the day, they get to take this story and move it forward. And so they are such an integral part, and such an energizing force behind what we do every night.
What is uh what is the favorite songs that you perform as Jean Valjean? What would be your top three, would you say?
Oh my goodness. Top three would probably be Who Am I? Getting to sing that one with a full orchestra. The end of Act One, One Day More. That is probably one of the best Act One closers in musical theater that has ever been written. And to get to sing that with our orchestra and the full company on stage, and that energy pushing forward, it still gives me goosebumps every night. And obviously, Bring Him Home, to sing the prayer, sitting on that barricade. Jean Valjean goes through so much in the show. I never pretty much stop moving the entire production.
Yeah.
So to be able to sit and sing that song every night that has such a meaning and a connection to me. And the sacrifices that I would make for my own daughter in that moment, and thinking about the sacrifices that Valjean would make for his adopted daughter, Cosette,
Yeah.
it really brings it full circle. And I love performing that song every single night.
So, important question. Does
Mm.
Nick Cartel, Jean Valjean sing songs from the show in the shower in the morning, or do you
Um,
not?
there are sometimes that I do, but also my daughter sings all the songs
Oh
as
my
well.
gosh.
Yes, so she is, as she keeps telling us, I'm going to grow up to be little Cosette.
Oh,
So
that's so nice.
we will see. We'll see. Time
Yeah.
will tell. But she is the one that definitely keeps the songs present in our home.
You've had a very interesting career. I won't mention all of them, but you were in the Phantom of the Opera as well, were you not?
Yes, yes, I was. I was in the national tour of the Phantom of the Opera. One of my favorite shows of all time. Those Phantom and Les Mis. Those were the two shows that growing up that I was listening to most of the time. So to say that I've crossed both of those off my bucket list is quite an exciting thing to say. Now I never played the Phantom. I would love to play that role someday. So I'm not taking that show entirely off the list yet.
Okay, and my last question is, you and your wife, you're involved with fighting ovarian cancer. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so before days before my final callback back in 2017, my mom passed away from ovarian cancer, and so it is one of those things that she battled a very horrible disease for a long time, and we are honored to give back as much as we can by doing concerts and just trying to bring awareness to the ovarian cancer research, and also just what women go through in this fight. It's something that was important to my mom, and I'm glad to be able to. We're glad to be able to continue to bring that forward.
Congratulations. Good luck with the
Thank
tour, and
you.
I'm sure Montrealers will look forward to seeing you on stage.
We cannot wait to be there.
Good talking to Nick Cartel from Les Mis.